right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. So I just want to talk real quick about waivers. All right, so week 1 is officially over with. It is time now for us to pick up some guys off the waiver wire. I just got a quick list. We'll make this real quick for a quick list of guys that you guys should be looking out for, and kind of some reasons why as well. All right, so jumping straight into it. First off, I got Hollywood Brown. All right, obviously due to Rashee Rice, he's out on a 6-game suspension. Worthy, he just ended up dislocating his shoulder. Now with Worthy, we don't know what the severity is in regards to Worthy and what's that going to look like. If it's a mild dislocation, that means that it's going to be looking like 3 games at least. If it's a moderate dislocation, it could be looking at 4 to 6 weeks games. He's going to be out. And then if it's severe, it could be season ending. And I don't think it's, I don't know. I'm not a medical doctor. I have no clue, but just based off of what I was able to gather together, I'm expecting that he's going to be probably out at least 3 to 4 games, at least 3 to 4 games. So with that being the case, this is a volume heavy offense in regards to passing. They will need to pass the ball. Just straight off of volume in general, Hollywood Brown is going to be valuable. I'm sure a lot of guys are going to obviously be on top of Hollywood Brown trying to get their hands on him, but it is somebody that you want to try and look at and see if you can get him if you have a high waiver priority. So he's going to be a main benefit off of this shaky receiving core as of right now. All right. Next, I got running back Byshul Tootin from the Jacksonville Jaguars. All right. With Tank Bixby now out of town, which hurts my heart, which hurts my soul. I'll talk about that another time. This gives Tootin the go ahead for him to basically be now that number 2 running back behind Travis Etienne. Which is, I think, this is going to be a growing offense that I think is going to get more confident, gain more points. And this is an offense that you do want to have a piece of. I think it's going to be beneficial to have a piece of as well as the season progresses. So, and then also with Tootin, he has big playability. He has ability to have these home runs, runs that we seen coming out of college, and he can. And also, he's a great receiver as well. You can use him in the receiving the backfield as well as a receiver. So he is valuable to this offense, and I just feel like with Leon Cohen as well, he's going to be able to mix up those running backs. He's not just going to run Travis Etienne into the ground. He's going to eventually mix it up. Yes, he had a great week coming off of week 1, but as the season progresses and over the long term, Tootin will be getting more opportunities to be able to show that he can be valuable and a valuable handcuff to have as well. So I think that's somebody that you want to grab off of waivers. All right, next I got Dylan Sampson. Dylan Sampson, again, a beneficiary of somebody that is missing in the offense, which is Judkins, right? So with him being out for at least week 1, he was out, but he 100% balled out with the opportunity that he had. He looked great last week, and Jerome Ford does not look great. Honestly, Jerome Ford for me is a drop candidate at this point, because Sampson looks that good, and also Judkins is going to come in, and we're going to see what he can bring to the table. But I'm pretty sure whatever it is, he's going to look a lot better than Jerome Ford, and I think these are going to be the main 2 guys for the remainder of the season. But once he does return back, once Judkins does return back, then Sampson will now be the receiving back primarily for this backfield. Judkins is a great runner, but Sampson has a solidified role in this offense. So even once he does come back, he will still be valuable and still be able to be used in the passing game. And that alone will give him some value and just some value overall in this offense. So with that being the case, I still like him. Even with Judkins coming back, I think it's somebody that you do want to hold on to, and let's see what happens. But he absolutely balled out week 1. Also, another thing as well, Judkins did have some missed time over the offseason. So he's not as up to speed with the offense, with the first team, as Sampson is. So it is going to take him a little bit of a minute. Yes, they could just throw him in there and, hey, Judkins, just see what see what you can give us. But naturally, Sampson, it is a benefit that he has a better rapport with the rest of the offense, seeming as though he's been there the entire time. Judkins, he's been in and out, and then he's kind of just been spotty, and especially he's a rookie, so that is gonna affect his development a little bit and his ability to kind of get up to game speed. So we'll see what that looks like, and maybe it might take him a good 2-3 games to really kick in the gear and really feel comfortable. We'll see, but that's something to note as well, and I think that's gonna help out Dylan Sampson a lot. All right. So next person I got on the list, and this is a little bit deeper, is Isaac Tesla, wide receiver for the Lions, man. He only really had about 1-2 catches, but he had that monster catch in the end zone touchdown, one of the best plays of the week, in my opinion. And so he is a deeper sleeper. He's a deeper sleeper. Yes, people are not going to be trying to I don't think everybody's going to be trying to go after Isaac Tesla, to be honest with you. Yes, there will be some of those who will try and build to and try and get him on the team. But he's been making noise all throughout training camp, all throughout mini camp, preseason, leading up to week 1. And he showed it. I mean, he showed why he kind of was, why there was hype within the Lions camp around this guy. And Dan Campbell himself came out and said they don't try and give him more time. They don't give him more opportunities on the field. And they Dan Campbell, he's the type of coach, if he sees something in a player, he's going to give him every opportunity to be on the field and try and continue to build himself up and kind of let's feed into the guys that are contributing. And yes, there are, it wasn't the best outing from them, from Jared Goff week 1. Yes, they do have Amon-Ra St. Brown. Yes, they still have Jameson Williams. And, they have receiving options on the team. But at the end of the day, I do think that there is something there with Tesla. I've liked him all the way since coming out of the draft. And, obviously the Lions do as well. And I think there's more to come to Tesla. So for him, it'll be more so a pick up and let's just stash and see what happens. But I like Tesla a lot. All right. Next person I got on the list is Quentin Johnson. Now with wide receiver out of the Chargers, he had his breakout game, in my opinion, his breakout game last week, with going off for 2 touchdowns, had a really good game. Honestly, looked good, to be honest with you. I really can't knock him at all. He has plenty of opportunity on this team, for him to be able to establish himself as the legit wide receiver, number 2 on this team behind Ladd, in my opinion. Trey Harris, the rookie that they drafted to come in and kind of be that guy that they wanted Quentin Johnson to be, he's not really looking so well so far, to be honest with you. It's taking a little bit of time for him to get going and kind of really get that potential out of him. And with that being the case, Quentin Johnson had a great outing last week. Me personally, I think that there is a chance that this could be just one of those week 1 performances, that like those unicorn performances, because we see it every single year. Week 1, you have those guys that will just go off and you're like, oh, okay, finally, yeah. And then like the rest of the season, like, okay, all right, well, it's Quentin Johnson. Like, what do you expect? And that's kind of how I feel about him. I know that there's going to be more people who are excited about him just because he did look good. This is an offense where you don't have Herbert passing the ball, and there's going to be plenty of opportunity for him. I just don't trust him long term. My personal take on him. But I mean, if it's up to you, right? Up to you, and depending on how you feel about him. If you feel like he's gonna hit and he's gonna develop and take that next step this season, then by all means, definitely gotta try and go out there and pick him up. But I'm not trying to reach for him too much, to be honest with you. All right, next is a tight end I got on here on the list, and that's Harold Fannin Jr., tight end from the Browns. Now this guy last week tied second in all tight ends out of week 1 for targets, which is a great sign. And he made the most of every single target that he got. He was a ball hawk. He played really well, man. He played really well. And that says a lot, even with the Joker being there as well in this tight end room. So it's not just him, but there are other mouths to be fed on this offense. But this guy has the ability to be an every down type of pass catcher from a tight end position. You might as well just kind of think of him like a receiver in a sense, almost like how Jonnu Smith is. Jonnu Smith is like damn near a receiver, to be honest with you. But he did that all throughout college. Just in case you don't know much about his college career, last year he had the most receiving yards and also the most receptions out of any pass catcher at all last year. So, it's over Travis Hunter. That's over some of the guys that came out of the league, over Tyler Warren as well. I mean, he absolutely balled out last year. And yes, he didn't go to a big school, which is why I feel like most people don't really pay a lot of attention to him, or maybe didn't pay a lot of attention to him coming out the draft. But he was certainly somebody who I really liked a lot coming out of the draft. And I wanted him to actually end up in a better situation because I knew Njoku was here. But he has been, again, just like Tesla, he's been making noise all throughout offseason, minicamp. And the Browns are excited about him. And the thing is, for him to have 9 targets coming out the gate week 1, that's not an accident. You know what I mean? Like, they don't just, it's just I'll just end up with 9 targets. I mean, like I think that building up to this point, They know what they have in Harold Fannin, and I feel like, you know, he could carve out a legit role on this offense, even with Njoku being here. But he looked pretty dominant, in my opinion, for week one, and that's somebody who I would like to grab and maybe stash him and see how this goes. I wouldn't say just start him next week, but if you're somebody who had a tight end that got hurt, for example, if you had Kittle, or if you don't have like a premier tight end, that's somebody who I would definitely grab up and see, you know, see if he can help with their tight end room for sure. All right. And the last person I got is Kareem Hunt. All right. Kareem Hunt. Everybody knows Kareem Hunt, running back for the Chiefs, man. And I don't hear a lot of people really talking about Kareem Hunt. It's more of a deeper pick, in my opinion. This is just my opinion. But I think that he still has the ability to carve out a legit role on this offense. And even with Pacheco still being there, reason being, I mean, if you go back and look at the tape from week one, I mean, he made the most of every single opportunity that he got, either from the passing game or as a rusher as well. And I think with Kareem Hunt, one, he's a guy, he's able to convert. When they need a third down, when they need a fourth down, they need maybe a third and one, fourth and one, they can count on Kareem Hunt, and he is reliable. He's pretty reliable. He always gets positive yards. He's always falling forward. He's always finding some ways to make something out of making something out of nothing for the most part. And, you know, he's able to convert in certain situations that I feel like Isaiah Pacheco just isn't giving them. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, Isaiah Pacheco is a great runner, but at the same time, like, I see the difference when Kareem Hunt, you know, gets the ball and more involved in the offense. And, you know, last week I had a couple of times where I'm just like, I wish they would give the ball more to Kareem Hunt, because it was more evident that he was able to bring more value, at least in that game. But I've always kind of felt like this, which is why I was high on him last year when they initially signed him. And if you picked up on him last year, when a lot of people really wasn't trying to be bothered by him for the most part, it paid off, because he really did help you last year. But anyway, also one more thing though is that this offense, like as I mentioned with Hollywood Brown, they are short of receivers, and Kareem Hunt can bring value in the passing game. And they will need to lean on, as of right now, they just need to survive. They need to figure out who can really rely on to move this offense outside of just Mahomes running every play or whatever. Outside of Kelsey, we can't just force feed Kelsey, you know, 3,000 targets, because I mean, he's getting older and, you know, he's still Kelsey, but at the end of the day, they need somebody else to step up. And I don't know if it's going to be Hollywood Brown. They're not going to run the ball 1,000 times with Isaiah Pacheco. They're going to need other pass catchers to get involved. And with that being the case, I do see them utilizing the Kareem Hunt a lot more. I see them trying to get a little bit more creative with using him as a pass catcher, or just get him more involved, because like I said, he's reliable. He's able to convert. It's somebody you could depend on the offense. And right now they need that. They need that until they get some of their premier weapons back on the field. So as of right now, I think that Kareem Hunt is a sneaky pickup, especially I know a lot of people are like, well, I don't know who to pick up as far as running backs. There's nobody out there. Those are my three guys that you should be going after. Tootin, Dylan Sampson, everybody's going to kind of be going after them for the most part. But I think that Kareem Hunt could be a sneaky one as well on the back end. And we can see what happens, man. But I think that they'll get him some more time. And so just some honorable mentions in regards to kickers and also defense kicker. You could check out Cam Little. You see if Cam Little from the Jaguars is in your waivers in your league. If he is available, grab him, bro. Grab him. This is the guy in the preseason hit that 70-yard field goal, the one that ended up breaking the NFL record but didn't count because of the preseason. And but this week he had a great outing this week. I mean, I had him on my team. If you started him, you know, he outscored some of, I don't know how your scoring goes in your leagues, but he outscored some, you know, notable players, you know what I mean? And he can help you win games. So if Cam Little is there, I say grab him. Also, another thing, defense. One defense I got for you is the Packers. Obviously, you know, they got Micah Parsons, and but that's going to turn up their team. That's going to turn up their overall morale. They're going to turn up their defense. And I think that it's something to know. So I think if the Packers are available, I don't see why not grabbing him up and going for the ride and see what that makes. But I think that this defense is looking solid. I think the team is looking solid as well. And they don't need that. And Micah Parsons just brings a whole nother element to this defense, which is what we expected. But if they're there, I say grab them. So with that being the case, those are my waivers for this week. All right. Best of luck to you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.